Hey everybody, how you doing today? Mike Mazza coming to you from Northern Virginia, your local Northern Virginia realtor. I'm on scene today, got a photo shoot going on today. Little house that went live. So sitting out here while the photographer's inside doing all the cool stuff for me, so I thought I'd do a video for you. Today's video I'm gonna do is home buying tips. What are some things that we can do when we're starting to look for a home for the first time, or even if you're new to the area? Hey, check it out. If you're new to the area, what I'd love for you to do is hit that subscribe button somewhere over there, hit the like button, and hit the bell to get notified. Easy. Don't tell nobody. Last couple weeks I haven't posted any videos. I don't even have a good excuse why. But yeah, click that, get notified, subscribe, love it. You got questions, ask them. Any comments, good or bad, leave them in there. And with that, let's get started. Hey, fun fact for you. When I just bought my home 3 years ago, I just had my house anniversary a couple days ago. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea about home inspections and closing costs and what do we look for. It was a mess. Like I was running around with my tail cut off. So that's why I'm trying to do this video, just to give you some tips, some tricks, a little bit of knowledge to help you out as a future homeowner moving up to this area. Tell me what you think. And here we go. All right, first tip we got today, pre-approval. Let's talk to a lender. Let's get pre-approved versus pre-qualified. So if you find a house that you love, we're gonna submit an offer. It's best to be pre-approved. That way you know exactly how much you can afford. That way someone's not out there showing you houses that are $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 above your budget, and then you're getting excited looking for homes and you love them. And you're like, oh, sorry, but you can't afford that. Oh, like they do on TV, right? I don't do that. I don't like to work like that. That's the first tip. All right, tip number 2 we got today here is wants versus needs. Big one. So what is a want? What is a need? You need to have 4 bedrooms, or you need to have 5 bedrooms. You need to have a garage. You need to have a basement that's finished. It's huge here. Those are wants versus needs. A want would be, I want a man cave. I want a swimming pool. I want a 3-car garage. But do you need those things? So it's good to know your wants versus your needs. Like, for example, right, everybody wants a man cave, so you can sit down and watch Seattle Seahawks football games, right? Go Hawks.
Wilson toward the end zone. It is caught. Seattle's going to the Super Bowl. All
right. Number 3 tip today is areas where we're going to live. So for my military folks, and I do work with military folks. Heck, I work with anybody, but primarily I work with a lot of military folks that happen to move up to this area. The number 1 question you get, or the $1 million question, is, Mike, where the heck do we live? Well, that's a tough one. So do you live closer to DC? Let's say you're moving to the Pentagon, right? Do you live close to the Pentagon, or you live further away? The closer you live, the more it's going to cost. Typically, the older the homes and the less square footage, less area you're going to get. But your commute time's a little less, you know, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes. You live a little bit further away, you get more house, sometimes newer homes. It's a little bit further commute, but your prices are a little bit different. So the hardest question to answer for individuals is, what's your choice? I can't make that decision for you. Me and my family, we chose to live further away. We love the school district. The support my kids get at school is phenomenal. We got more house for our bang, for our buck, as the term goes. So that was our decision. We still love it. I'm not moving closer to the Pentagon. That's just my choice. That's how I feel. But that's different for every family. I know folks that live close to the Pentagon and they pay more out of their pocket, but their commute time's less. Hey, that's great for them. I can't answer that question for you. You have to make a decision on your own. But it is a very hard decision. Do we want to live somewhere where there's a commuter, the metro, busing, the VRE, carpool lanes, or up here we call it slugging? All those decisions weigh into your factors. Just start looking at that stuff. You get on the Google Maps, and you could pick the typical drive time. The best time to do is Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, because a lot of people take vacations on Mondays and Fridays here. So you get on there, and you know you're leaving at a certain time to arrive at, we'll just say, the Pentagon at a certain time. So pick that, and then you can kind of start weighing your options, whether you want to go west, like out towards Centerville, Burke, Chantilly. You want to come south, Woodbridge, Stafford, Fredericksburg, Lorton, those choices. just kind of start looking at that. So that helps me when I'm building your search, where should we live? I can circle in a smaller area. That was tip number 3. Number 4, schools. Sometimes with us military folks, that option is like almost number 1. I want the best school for my kids. I'll find a house around there. That's it. And that's perfectly fine. That's kind of what we did, and it's worked out for us threefold. But schools here in Northern Virginia are typically some of the best in the country. Fairfax County, Prince William County, Falls Church, Arlington, Alexandria, some of the best school districts you'll find in the country. Not even going to sugarcoat it. But how do I find out if the school is good? Well, I did a prior video on that. You can go back and watch in the list. I'll even put one of those cards up there for you. Greatschools.org, schooldigger.com will give you the ratings on the schools that you're looking for. My favorite suggestion is probably get on a Facebook PTO page, and then you can start asking the parents what their opinions are of the school, because now you're getting real live feedback on what they think of the school, rather than, hey, they do great test scores and kids are graduating at a high rate, right? Talk to some parents and figure out what they like. Number 5, like 5 golden rings, you need to find a realtor. Find a realtor that will work for you, work hard for you, will communicate with you constantly. I love to communicate with my clients, whether it's text, phone call, email, Facebook Messenger, whatever it is. I'm in constant communication, whether it's a new home that popped up on the list, certain areas, price reductions, homes that maybe are expired, I don't know, whatever it is. Look for a realtor that maybe has some credentials. An MRP is a military relocation professional, ABR, accredited buyer's representation, and then the last one is a PSA, pricing strategy advisor. So that way that person can actually run the comps on the house and see if you're getting a good deal. By the way, all 3 of those certifications I just mentioned happen to be me. Plus I'm a veteran and my wife is current active duty military. So I don't know if you're looking for a realtor that is a veteran or military spouse, because we move a lot. I mean, I've moved 10 times in the last 13 years, so I definitely know moving and all the ins and outs and the hassles, the struggles, the fights that could happen. But get a realtor that works for you, that just wants to work hard. The cool thing is, if you're buying a home, do most people know that when you're using a realtor to buy, you don't pay any of our fees? That's kind of cool, right? The seller pays when the house is closed from the sale. The selling agent, correction, the sale of the house, that's how we get paid our commissions. So you actually don't pay for me for none of my fees. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, just interview some realtors. It's got to work. Sometimes it's personalities, and sometimes they either work or they don't work, but try to find a realtor that's going to work hard for you. Number 6, start looking at homes online. So what I do with you, I already got your wants and needs, because that was a couple tips ago. Now I'm going to build you a search, and we're going to start looking at homes. You can also get online and start looking at homes, and as much as I hate to say these words, Zillow, get on there. It's a great tool to start looking at homes. Just don't look at the Zestimate, because that is sometimes really bad. For example, the CEO of Zillow sold his home for $40,000 less than the Zestimate, right? It's kind of funny. Realtor.com, Trulia, there's all kinds of sites we can get on there and start looking at homes. Military by Owner, it's a cool little site. Get on there and start looking, and that way you can look through the pictures and get an idea of what you really, really like. Areas you like, searches and stuff like that. Just get on there and start looking around. Number 7 tip is estimating the closing cost. So typically buyers always pay the closing cost, because we're in a seller's market right now. If it was flipped and it was a buyer's market, and you know, there's just a way abundant of homes out there, then sometimes the sellers get a little crazy or strategic and offer things for people to buy their homes. Right now we're in a crazy seller's market. Is super hot, multiple offers. People are waiving home inspections. People are waiving appraisals. They're doing all kinds of things they can to win a house. Asking over off, or offering over asking is a big one right now too. But you have to include your total closing cost into the price of your home when you're looking at it. Typically here, closing costs in Northern Virginia are anywhere from 2 to 2.5%. And then your earnest money is also, your earnest money deposit is 1%. You buy a $500,000 home, you're going to put down $5,000. that $5,000 earnest money, provided everything works out. We don't have problems with the home inspection. We don't have problems with appraisal. We don't have problems with the HOA docs. The reason we like those contingencies is it's a way for you to get out of it. That $5,000 EMD would be wrapped into the closing costs. I like to look at it as a down payment. That's 1%. The closing costs, you got a couple ideas you can do with closing costs. If you have the money to pay the closing costs out of your pocket, you absolutely can. Or we can wrap it into the home loan, which is a pretty good way to do it. And then you can just finance your closing costs and you don't even have to worry about it. But get ready to know the closing costs. Like I said, 2.5%. That way, when you're looking at how much you're really going to spend, that's one of those costs that you're going to have to pay for. Home inspections in our area, anywhere from $400 to $600, depending on the size of your home. You might want to get a radon test. That's another about $150. Appraisal's about $500. Those are the only two things that you're going to pay out of your pocket. Correction 3, earnest money out of your pocket up front when you're purchasing a home. But if you waived home inspection, no home inspection. You can still do it for the purposes of information, but not to negotiate. The other fee you might want to pay is a survey. So if you're getting a home with a lot, you might want to survey because you want to put up a fence. That's a great idea as well. Title insurance, right? Title insurance is great because it just tells you the whole entire history of the house and make sure there's nobody has a pending lawsuit against you. You definitely want to know that kind of stuff. That's that tip right there. Tip number 8. How long does this process usually take? Well, up here, we love to do things fast. Typically, we can usually get a home from date of ratification. Ratification is when both parties agree to a contract. Typically, we can get that done in about 30 days. Why 30 days? Because everything's fast up here, and somebody says, oh, we can close in 60 days. The seller's not going to want that. They want to sell their home now. Sometimes they will ask for 60 days, but most of the time they want to sell it now and get out and move. So they don't want to wait 60 days to close. So we can, the lender I like to work with, we can close a loan in less than 30 days. I've gotten one done in 14 days, which was pretty flippin' fast. But 30 days is about average. Sometimes you can ask for a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. It just really depends. But yeah, anywhere from 30 to 90 days. I say 30 to 90. We start searching. We start driving around, looking at houses. And guess what? Now with COVID, we still have COVID, even though Virginia's in phase 3. I do a lot of stuff virtually. I have my GoPro, Zoom, Facebook. We can video you in and check out. We can video you in and walk through the house. Some cool things I can do when we walk through the houses, and I know you're not here, but I can tell you, does the home smell? Does it smell like a meth lab was in there? Does it smell like cats were in there? Sorry if you're a cat person. Does it just have a weird smell? Mildew, sewage, water damage, anything. I kind of let you know that information ahead of time. The other things we can do, I can zoom and drive through the neighborhood. I just did that with someone last weekend. I was holding my phone up and driving through the neighborhood so she got an idea and seeing the trees and the basketball courts and parks and stuff around the neighborhood. So that's pretty cool. Another cool little thing you can do is actually get on Google Maps and type in the address and zoom out. Like, look at the satellite view. What does the yard look like? What's the neighborhood look like? Do you live on a cul-de-sac? Is there lots of cars parked at the end of the cul-de-sac? Because that could change your mind. You might not want a lot of traffic at the end of the cul-de-sac. Some people like to live on a cul-de-sac for less amount of traffic. And if you're looking on the map and you see a lot of cars, well, that might be a lot of traffic. Zoom out. Are you close to the interstate? You're close to a river? You're close to a lake? Whatever it is. But Google Maps is a great tool for you to get out and look and figure that stuff out. But yeah, there's a lot of tools at our disposal to help people buy homes nowadays. And just ask your realtor if they use those sort of tools. Zoom, Matterport, 3D tours, all that kind of stuff. 3D tours, what's going on right now? How about that? Pretty cool, right? But yeah, that's the last tip I got for you. Hope you liked the video. Like I said, ring the bell, get notified, click the like button. If there's any comments, good or bad, I don't care. Leave a comment for me. At least that way you're seeing the content and you're liking it. Thanks, folks, for watching the video. Stay tuned for more.